Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again it is Sunday and time for the Texas Gun Vault Poll Question of the Week. This is a weekly segment that I put out where I poll you as my viewers and subscribers and ask you about certain aspects of firearms, culture, policy, or news that I would like to get your opinions on and see where you guys lie on the topic. This week's poll question dealt with the types of handguns that you prefer, both at the range and when you carry. So with that in mind, let's dive right into this week's question. Everyone is different and likes different types of handguns. Maybe it is what you grew up shooting or carrying, or it is what you think shoots the best at the range. What style of handgun do you prefer and why? Do you feel any have advantages over the others? Alright, so this week's question is pretty straightforward. What type of handgun do you like? And I tried to list pretty much all that I could think of, and remember, I only have 5 options. So I'm sure there's something that I left off this list that somebody in the comments section below wanted to tell me about, but I stuck to the main 5. So with that in mind, let's now look at your responses. Revolver, single action, just like my heroes from the Wild West, 2%. Revolver, double action, old school and still the most reliable, 4%. Semi-auto, single action, I just like saying cocked and locked, 8%. Semi-auto, double action, single action, the best of both worlds with the most options, 28%. And semi-auto, striker fired, hammerless and simple perfection, 58%. Alright, so the results of this poll really didn't surprise me too much. I already knew semi-automatic striker fired was going to win hands down, and it did. The only thing that surprised me is that the proponents of the revolver and guns like the 1911 didn't really show up in force. In past Texas Gun Vault poll questions of the week where I talked about military sidearms, everyone dogged the SIG P320 but said the Colt 1911 was the far superior design and type of gun. But the results of this poll really don't show it. I know that there's a lot of people out there that when it comes to their public appearance, they will say, I'm going to love a certain type of gun. But then when they actually go to the range or have to go to the gun shop and buy a gun, they end up going to something that's a little bit more modern. I've heard people jokingly refer to them as mopeds, which is something that you're happy to ride when you're by yourself, but you don't want your other friends to see you doing it. Well, that's the case, I think, when it comes to miniguns today. Everyone wants to put on this public persona. I only carry a double action revolver and a semi-automatic gun like a 1911, when in actuality, they like the polymer Wonder 9s as much as everyone else. They just don't want to be seen with them because they want to act like they're cooler and better than everyone. But this poll proves just what I already know about the gun culture. People love the polymer striker fired handguns, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm curious why so many people were honest in the poll, but then in the comments section below, we're talking about the 1911. Well, only 8% of people voted for single action semi-auto, so I guess there's not that many fanboys of it. But let's go through all of the results here one at a time and I'll give you my opinions. Revolver, single action, just like my heroes from the Wild West. This is a type of gun that I absolutely love shooting. I love single action revolvers. I kind of equate it to driving a manual transmission car. There's just something about it. You are more in tune with the gun. It's not a gun that I truly would want to carry or shoot very often, but if I'm just going to the range and having a little bit of plinking fun, there's nothing wrong with a single action army. All right, the revolver, double action, old school, and still the most reliable. I honestly thought this one was going to get more than 4%. And the reason is every time I go to a gun shop, there are a few double action, single action revolvers that I'm kind of interested in getting, mainly from Smith & Wesson, but they're always sold out. Every time they get any type of Smith & Wesson revolver in, they're gone. I was kind of expecting people to come out and say, yeah, I'm a revolver guy through and through. I know there's a lot of people that are older that watch my channel, and a lot of them are revolver fans, but only getting 4%? Where's the love? I don't know. Next up, semi-auto single action. I just like saying cocked and locked. And this got 8% as I mentioned. Once again, I have a ton of people that say how superior the 1911 is to every other gun that has ever been invented. But apparently they don't think so because only 8% of people voted for it. I find that to be very fascinating. I thought that was going to get more. I didn't think it would win. but I thought it would get more. And I have no problem with single action guns. You just got to make sure that you train with them and know how to take the safety off. That's all I got to say. And if you're going to carry a single action semi-automatic handgun, make sure that you carry with one in the chamber. You don't want to have to load that in a stressful situation. Semi-automatic, double action, single action, best of both worlds with the most options. Personally, this is the type of gun that I like. It's not the one I would have voted for, because when it comes to actually carrying, which is how I kind of decided how I would have voted in this poll, I like the striker fired as well, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But many of my favorite guns fall into this category, such as the SIG P226 and the HK USP9 Tactical. Absolutely love those guns. I like the fact that you have double strike capability. You can carry them cocked and locked if you want, so kind of carry them single action. You can carry them in a very safe condition with a hammer down. Many times, if you want to be a true safety Sally, you can carry them with the hammer down and the safety on. You would just have so many options. And then finally, semi-auto, striker fired hammerless, and simple perfection. This is my favorite. While my favorite guns in the world might not fall into this category, these are the types of guns I enjoy shooting and carrying the most. Number one, they're simple and they're not very complex. They're easy to handle. They're light. I just find them to be the most outstanding guns on the market today. And there's nothing wrong with that. I know people can appreciate the designs of the past. But when it comes to mechanical things like guns, technology marches on. And I think that where guns are headed now with polymer frames, modularity, internal strikers so you don't have as many openings for particulate and things to get inside to jam up the action, I think all of this stuff is awesome. And it's why I like these types of guns. They're the most consistent for me, and I do shoot them the best. So now that you got my opinion, let's check out what your opinions were with the top rated comments. And with our top rated comment, we have Sean White, who says, for the modern warfighter or civilian, a hammer is no longer needed. Strikers have less parts, more durable, and more reliable. These days, hammer fired is more for competition shooting. And I gotta say, I completely agree with him. And that's kind of my sentiment. I'm not saying don't own a hammer fired gun. I absolutely love them. I think they're cool and very historic. And I think a lot of them that are coming out today that use hammers are awesome. They're incredible guns. There's a lot that are on my short list of guns that I really want that have them. But if I could only have one, or if I have a small collection, I would definitely stick more to the striker fired stuff, especially if reliability is going to be my top concern. Next up, we have Fear Not 7, who says, double action, single action with my M9A3 or P30. And I gotta say, he has a great taste in guns. Both of those firearms are absolutely incredible, and those are two of my absolute favorite pistols in my collection. And next up, we have Richard Boone, who says, 1911, 2011, for me as a preference. Now, that's not to say I don't sometimes carry a Glock, because I do. That's what makes it great choices. Today, I believe we have some of the most reliable pistols to choose from, whether it be double action, single action, striker, or single action. Well, I gotta say, I also agree with this comment. Now here's the thing, I know that this is a poll that's asking which is the best, and sometimes in the firearms community, when we say, what's better, AR-15 or AK-47? That might be a good poll question for next week. But anyway, when you start talking about specifics in guns, if you're not on the winning side, you feel like everyone hates you and they are all wrong, and don't get emotional about it. It's totally cool. If you disagree with me or you disagree with the results of the poll, there's no reason to get upset. But as he says, all these guns are super reliable. The way they're manufactured today, they are all top tier. So no matter what you choose and what your preference is, you really can't go wrong. Then we have Richard S. McHardy, who says, I like the Factor with mine as a decocker model. When I quickly pull it out, if I have to, I don't have to worry about it. And that's one of the advantages of the double action, single action guns. You don't have to think about it. You can run a safety, not run a safety. The camera can be decocked, not decocked. You have so many options. And then finally, we have Kay Bauer. Once again, he gets on these lists a lot. Since it said use, shoot, and carry, I had to pick striker fired. That's what I usually carry, but I do like double action, single action as well. So as I said, I think this poll brought out the honesty in a lot of people. I know that people like certain types of guns and they kind of gravitate them. Like I said, the 1911 or a quality Smith & Wesson or Colt revolver. However, when it comes to actually what people have to choose, if they can only have one or what they mainly carry, it's always going to go back to that polymer striker fired pistol. Will that always be the case? Maybe not. Something in the future may come along and replace it all. But I appreciate the honesty. And as I said, I'm not calling anyone out here, but I think this proves the point that while a lot of people will talk a big game about certain guns, what they actually carry, shoot, and enjoy shooting is something completely different. Wow, this was a great poll question. I really liked this one because as I said, I think I got a lot of people to be honest. I think I might do something with the AK-47 AR-15 next week. Who knows? Maybe we can finally settle that debate once and for all. But we'll find out. So if you enjoyed these poll questions, please go check out the community tab of my YouTube channel. Next week's question should already be out as I publish this video right now. Go over there, vote, like, comment, and like other people's comments so we can get the top rated comment of the week. So once again, I hope you guys enjoy this little weekly segment where we talk about different aspects of the firearms community. I know I personally do. They're so much fun to make, and I love all of the interaction that we get. By the way, if you've gotten this far in the video, please feel free to go check out my other channel, the Texas Gun Vault 2. I put a little link in the description below. It's kind of a behind-the-scenes channel where I can kind of make daily, I would say like vlogs, where I kind of do a set like behind the scenes or talk about things that I can't always talk about here on the main channel. So if you like a little bit more of an intimate atmosphere and want to get a little bit more knowledge about the Texas Gun Vault, go over there and check me out as well. It's a super small channel, and I kind of say it's for my elite subscribers, but everyone's welcome. All right, so let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.